Hello, my little mathematicians. Today we're going to review the distributive property and then introduce factoring out a GCF. Okay, so first off, let's do the distributive property. So when you're doing the distributive property, it means that you're going to take the number out in front and you're going to distribute it to each number on the inside of the parentheses. Or when you're distributing it, you're basically multiplying it. So I'm going to do 2 times the 3, bring down that plus sign, and then multiply the 2 times the 5 as well. Now I know that you could do order of operations and do 3 plus 5 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. Well, let's see if this answer ends up getting 16 as well. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 times 5 is 10, and 6 plus 10 is 16. And you're like, okay, that was a lot more complicated than just doing 3 plus 5 is 8 and 2 times 8 is 16. Why didn't I do PEMDAS or order of operations? Because sometimes this number might be like an x and you can't combine the x and the 5. So then I would distribute the 2 to the x and the 5. And so that's why we're practicing now with numbers, so then we can check to see that we're doing it right. So here, let's see. 8 minus 6 is 2, and 7 times 2 is 14. So my ending answer should be 14. Let's practice this new distributive property and see if that's what we get. Okay, so I'm going to distribute the 7 to the 8, and then distribute it. After I distribute the 7 to the 8, then distribute the 7 to the 6. Okay, well, 7 times 8 is 56. Bring down that minus sign, and 7 times 6 is 42. So now I'm going to subtract 56 minus 42, and I get 14, which is what I knew I should have gotten. Okay, if you haven't done one yet by yourself doing the distributive property, go ahead and do this one. Okay, you paused the video to try it. Now you unpaused it. You're back with us. Let's see how you did. You did 5 times that 4 plus 5 times that 2. Well, 5 times 4 is 20 plus 5 times 2 is 10. And 20 plus 10 is 30. There you go. You just mastered the distributive property. Now, this time, we're going the opposite way. Okay, because here, you know how you like ended with 6 plus 10 right before you combined them to get 16? Well, this kind of looks like that step. And so I want to pull it all the way back and see, like, how did it start with a number out in front multiplied with the two numbers in order to give me this? So you'll see the directions of rewrite this as the product of a sum or difference, or rewrite this by pulling out the GCF times a sum, anything along those lines. You're going to find the GCF, which means we're going to do our little ladder method. So what can go into both 8 and 14? 2 can. And 2 times what is 8? 4. 2 times what is 14? 7. Can you keep going? Does 4 and 7 have anything else in common? No, then you're done. So this out in front is my GCF. And then these two numbers inside represent the two numbers that are the sum. They're going to be multiplied with the GCF to get that original thing I started with. So this is my answer. And how you know you're officially right is 2 things. One, inside here has nothing else in common that you could have pulled out. And then that indeed was your GCF. And if you want to check, you can rewrite this and now distribute the 2 times the 4 plus the 2 times the 7. Well, 2 times the 4 is 8 plus 2 times the 7 is 14. Is that what I started with? Yep. So then you know that 2 times 4 plus 7 is indeed the right answer. Okay, let's try it here. What can go into both 15 and 6? 2 can't, but 3 can. Okay, and 3 goes into 15 5 times. Bring down the minus sign. And 3 goes into 6 twice. Nothing can go into both 5 and 2. So then you know that you're done. It's 3 times 5 minus 2. Okay, and remember, you can check by seeing 3 times 5 minus 2. If I were to distribute that back out, you have 3 times 5 is 15 minus 3 times 2 is 6. 15 minus 6 is what I started with. and inside the parentheses has nothing else in common. So yes, that is indeed the greatest common factor multiplied by a sum in order to get me that original number. Okay, if you haven't tried one yet yourself, go ahead and try this one. Okay, you unpause the video, you're back with us. I know that 8 can go into both of these because 8 times 6 is 48 and 8 times 7 gives me that 56. Nothing else is in common with these, so it's 8 times 6 plus 7. And when you distribute that out, 8 times 6 is 48, 8 times 7 was that 56. Now yours might have also looked different. Let's say you didn't see that and instead maybe you did 2 and you're like 2 goes into 48 24 times and 2 goes into 56. Let's see there. 28 times. And then you saw that 4 could go into both of those. 4 times 6 gives you 24 and 4 times what is 28? 7. Okay, that's still these numbers along the outside. When you multiply those together, that's your GCF. 2 times 4 is 8. And right here is the numbers inside the parentheses. So even if your ladder looked a little bit different, that's okay. Just the bigger the number you choose here, the shorter your ladder will be. Congratulations, my little mathematicians. You just mastered these two sets of directions when they say factoring out a GCF and then using that to rewrite the expression as the product of a GCF and a sum or difference.